All right, so with this one, I want to do this one talking about feet. Because yesterday I did a video where I said I was going to talk about feet, and I think that so I also made this same series that I'm making right now, saying that if you appreciate things on a Sunday, sometimes I experience having better experiences with music on a Sunday. Um, for a long time, for about 7 years, I listened to music each night at the same time for 1 to 2 hours on the same music streaming platform because I wanted to develop my ears. And I did that a lot. Sometimes I did more than that, but I always did about at least 1 to 2 hours a night. And I didn't miss hardly any night, but about 3 or 4 nights in about 6 or 7 years. And those nights that I missed, they were actually because I was either sick, like very sick, or I was like around the time of the pandemic. I mentioned in another video that I got an opportunity to hang out with. I had there was a girl next door that I had an adult crush on. That we were both adults living at the same apartment building, but I lived with my family, and she was like a successful a professional. Like I think she was a nurse for a long time, and she had a lifestyle. She had friends and people, and I had always seen her and been attracted to her, but I never got a chance to really spend time with her. And then one time, like shortly before the pandemic exploded, she was walking in. Like we always had a certain kind of energy between us. Like sometimes you have a chemistry with someone, and one or the other of you might fancy that chemistry more or less, but you do have something of a chemistry. Like it might be in terms of what you're interested in or what you've thought about. Because she was interested in faith, and I actually one of the things that I'm really attracted to in people is faith, um, faith, intelligence, and also communication. But actually, communication is a function of faith in intelligence. I think because you have to be confident to be a strong communicator, and a lot of people can extrapolate that confidence. The YouTuber Casey Zander, who does a lot of content about dating. He says that there's a relationship between faith and confidence, and that you can't be confident without faith. So I think that actually might be why I'm attracted to women with faith, is because that would constitute a form of confidence, maybe the highest form of confidence. And I think humans are attracted to confident people, and we're attracted to confidence. So that a person can have authentic faith is a high degree of confidence, but then you also have you have to be intelligent to have faith, because it takes faith is another onset of a development in a person that's profound. And it's been said, I think it might have been the YouTuber Howard Dare. At one point he said that when you have faith, it's not because you're so special or you're so smart that you figured out how to have faith. You were actually chosen to have faith, and faith had faith in you to inspire you to have faith. According to him, in one video, he said that, which was outstanding. So I want to say all things are a gift. Even our confidence, therefore, is a gift as a function of faith, with faith being a gift. Um, but um, but faith is a high indication of development, if not the highest indication of development in a human being. And there's actually not a age limit to how and when or where or why you could develop faith, but it's still yet significant at any point. And that's also why it's very egregious when young people are written off or dismissed for making statements about faith when they have authentic faith, because not that the statement had been false, but that they didn't have enough authority or standing to say something. That's very disingenuous, because faith can develop at any age level, and is as potent. Because if we remember the story of Jesus in the Bible, he was having faith and development from that faith at a young age, and may not have been having the favor that would come with his actual faith and understanding according to his stature. But um, but so I had been attracted to this person, and then one time they were walking home with a Bible, and I we were talking, and I showed them my favorite scripture, which I thought it conveyed my understanding of the Holy Bible at that time. At that time, I wasn't engaging with the Bible a lot, but I had done a lot when I was younger, and I think it's either Mark 12:14 or 14:12 thereabout, and it's Jesus Christ himself addressing his disciples after an incident in front of money changers and usurers and lenders. in a near a I think they might have been near a synagogue or a temple, and Jesus was saying that um, um, hear now, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one, and thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart and all thy might, and love thy neighbor as thyself. And for to fulfill these is to fulfill the entire gospel or law, because there are no commandments higher nor greater than these. He said that, and that actually got me confident to not spend my entire life around the Bible, and also to access other learning, because I felt that if you can appreciate that what he said there, that can make you more. I think the word is Catholic. Catholic doesn't necessarily refer to Christian. I think Catholic means like collective or diverse, or and also tolerant. I think that's what the word Catholic actually means. So you can be Catholic about different things, not only Christianity. The Arthur Avalon said that a true spiritual person is like that. Is that they have respect for different faiths and different walks, and as being valid and as being actually appropriate for other people. If you were a real healer, a real doctor, you wouldn't think that all courses of regimens of prescription or medicine or treatment or modality. I think that modality is a difficult word to completely convey, and it's actually not in all dictionaries. But that might be the word in medical terms, is modality. A real healer would not expect or assert the same modality for all people from all backgrounds and all circumstances. That would not be a healer. But it's true with spirituality, is that a spiritual person should respect and also expect people to have different paths and different faiths and different dogmas and scriptures that are appropriate for them in their walk, according to Arthur Avalon. But when I came across that scripture, it helped me to be more open-minded and also more grounded while being open-minded, by understanding that we're all that there's that we're all maybe the same person, and that person is one, but is also greater for being different and being one at once. And if you can appreciate the many in the one and the one in the many, and the value of collective and unity, but also the value of what's respective, is that a very small ant deserves the same respect as a noble person, I think, and they can be reasoned to be as noble as anyone is in terms of their strength, their bravery, their courage, and their teamwork. So an ant is the greatest of team players, yet an ant is the greatest of individual workers. And that's a paradox, and a lot of truth can be resolved and appreciated within paradox. But reality is similar, where things are great collectively, but they're also great. They're great collectively for being collective, but also for being respective, because what's respective is as great as what's collective. And you could maybe say what's collective is not possible without what's respective. That is, what's group is not possible without the individual, but what the individual, the respective, is also not possible without the collective. And that's actually a feature within reality, according to Arthur Avalon, which is that reality is both heterogeneous, that is disparate, distinct, and diverse, yet interlocking, interweaving, it's a composite of individual members, and the composite is great and is greater for being made of individual constituents, makes a greater composite. And neither the composite is possible without the constituents, nor the constituents possible without the composite. And that's really beautiful. That's actually dynamic. That's what dynamic is. And actually, you could say that life is dynamic. First and foremost, even beyond those distinctions, life is simply dynamic. Hot and cold, male and female, that polarity is dynamic, and that's what makes life viable. And when I say male and female, I'm not talking about anatomically. I'm just talking about in terms of energy. Um, but um, but so um, um, so that allowed me to meet that person, and then by meeting her, I we connected over that, and then um, I was going somewhere with that.